Hey Virgo, this is your general tarot reading for Virgo Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of November. Virgo, let's do this. Let's do what we always do. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on the right ones to come out for you. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we're leaving October, entering November, still under the effect of the big Taurus full moon that happened in your 9th house. So, what could that have done for you is made you feel that you were under a little bit of pressure, maybe to get some travel documents organized, getting your passport together, your visas together, anything to do with, say, long distance travel. Maybe even some of you have been seriously contemplating moving abroad, moving far, far away as the first card hops out. Yeah, 9th house is dealing with foreign cultures, foreign people, even in-laws. We have to throw them in there. But you have been dealing with them, and it seems that as we kind of leave October, go into a little bit of November, you're wrapping all of that up. 9th house is also where we have moments where we want to expand, where we want to open our lives up, open our experiences up, want to get deeper about the meaning of our life. Where are we going? What are we doing? What is the reason why we do all the things that we're doing? Yeah. And you've been asking those big questions. If I want to expand my life, what is my next big move? What do I want to do now? So it seems you want to move. And I said already, some of you may want to really move to another country or just stretch yourself out more. This is also quite a spiritual house. 9th house is where the gods are, the house of the gods, the house of faith, religion, deep philosophies. So you could have been spending a period of time and a little bit into November really asking some big meaningful questions, because the 9th house is where we go to become the seeker. But the good news is that once you really sit down and say, what do I want? What am I seeking? The answer usually arrives, and it arrives in the form of the sun, your soul, now directing you towards Scorpio in the 3rd house. So this could mean that some of the big questions get answered for you by siblings, by cousins, relatives, people close kind of in your family. Maybe not your core family, but brothers, sisters, so on like that. They could be very helpful and meaningful for you this month, Virgo. It's also about going a bit deeper when it comes to your communication. You have great ideas, your mind is expanding, and you now have that feeling that you want to expand in your life, to grow. You've learned a bunch of lessons, now it's time to grow and bring meaning to your life. And one of the first ways to do that is maybe to go back and educate yourself, not in a huge way, not going to university, say, although I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying the energy is more about going to study something, study a night course, study a language, study the art of communication, really study how to communicate better. That would be very beneficial for you, it seems, this month, because communication is very key. The big thoughts and ideas you have now need to be communicated and expressed properly. Your communication must be clear this month, Virgo, in order for everything to run smoothly. 3rd house is also travel and transport. Maybe a good idea has come to you that it might be wise for you to get a car, get a bike, get some form of transport organized. You might need it. Maybe trade in the old car and get a new one. Or even if it's just a case of being sensible and buying a bunch of train passes, you know, an annual train pass or something. But you're rethinking of how you communicate, how you travel. Your route in life, essentially, is being mapped out this month. So there are small details to work out here. Yeah, you're not lost anymore. You're not lost. November is just that month where you feel that you can bring practical, logical solutions to some of the bigger problems that you may have been having, and to be able to communicate them, make them effective, share them with people who might also be able to help you. 3rd house can be networks of people. You know, extended family, extended friends, people who are acquaintances might prove to be very, very helpful. Can't speak. Helpful this month. Now, third house is also speech. Yeah, so get your speech clear, which is something maybe I need to do. Get your speech clear. Now, Mercury in Sagittarius in the fourth house as we start the month. So there was great communication with your family members about how to maybe expand, you know, your future direction in life. You may have been discussing with them, where do I go next? I have big questions and I need big answers. And maybe family members have been very helpful for you in that direction and continue to be helpful, because I'll tell you why. November 8th, Jupiter, the great expander, is going into its happy home Sagittarius. So something big is expanding, and I think it involves your family. And even more so, because it's the fourth house, it could be the females in your family, maybe even your mom. There is something that they are helping you with, that it helps you to expand and open out your life in some way. And there's luck in it. Jupiter can be very lucky with money. So maybe family this month could really give you answers, help you write out clear points and a plan to get yourself organized, get your finances organized. Now, for some of you, expanding fourth house, you could be expanding your home, expanding your family, maybe talking about bringing new children into the home, even pets. Just new life could come into the home. The home suddenly becomes very lucky. And it could mean that you are bringing in family members to your home to stay with you, or vice versa. You might be moving back home to your family home. Yeah. So there's something about your home is very important. And even people from your hometown, people from your home area, your home country, are very nourishing and lucky for you this month. Let's say that. Very lucky. Uranus on the 6th of November is retrograding back into Aries. So this is going to feel a little bit like, haven't I already been here? Where? In the 8th house of huge transformations, personal transformations. 8th house can also be like a sexual revolution, where you suddenly find who you are, where you suddenly get back in touch with the raw, deep part of yourself. Now, you've gone through that for a good while, for many years. It stopped, and now it's kind of starting again for a little while, so that you can maybe clean up the last little bits of whatever big revolution was happening in your life over the last few years. You've been changing a lot, Virgo, changing a lot. And it might have been a very uncomfortable change. It might have felt like you were constantly in a state of crisis, that everything around you just seemed so, every day something was changing and becoming unfamiliar. Every day the old you was collapsing and something new was replacing it, and it seemed unfamiliar. It's almost like you were uprooted from a comfortable place for many years now, going through this thing of nothing seems familiar, nothing seems comfortable, nothing seems like I can settle down type of thing. Nothing seems to have a huge amount of meaning either. And you're exploring the meaning of everything. It marked a great period over the last many years for you, Virgo, of asking real deep questions, existential questions, probing the mind, psychology, all things like that. And you had a bit of a breather from that, it seems, but it goes back in now, just for a while, just to get you cleaning up the last of that. You are going to eventually leave that period. It is going to get easier, but you have to mop up the last bits. You have to sever ties with some people once and for all. Maybe cut the cord with some people. Absolutely cut the cord with some toxic people. Maybe even some of you are going back to cut the cord with some family members. Yeah. That you have to let some of your past finally go. You've got to let it go, Virgo, because that's where it's at. You're now getting the last bit of this out of you, where you felt that you were going through just upheaval after upheaval after upheaval. Now let's finish it off. Let's rinse it out once and for all so that you can move on later. And move on, literally when I say move on, really move on. Maybe next year you might find that the plans you have now to move abroad actually start taking real shape. That you could have that real last upheaval to just move on and expand your life and get out there into the big bad world. So that's what I'm saying. These last few months will be all about tidying up what you're supposed to leave behind, and treat it as something good, Virgo, because it is ending and it will end. And ultimately what you will be left with is a brand new you, somebody who is entirely transformed. Sure, somebody who has had to do that transformation the hard way, maybe kicking, screaming, biting, scratching, clawing, but nonetheless you did it. You did it. And so, as I said, there are some last few details that need to happen here, some last few toxic things that need to be aired finally. Yeah, let them go, let them go. Now, the new moon happening on November 7th in Scorpio in your 3rd house. Again, it's deep communication. It's finally expressing freely, once and for all, what has been going on in your life. These deep transformations that we spoke about. It's been tough for you, Virgo. It's been bloody hard. It's been difficult. And you were looking for years at other people getting on with their life. And you're saying, why can't I get on with my life? Every time I take a step forward, it's a disaster. It's a crisis. Everything I touch seems to turn to crap. I can't enter a relationship or else it gets all heavy and psychological. I can't enter a workspace or else it gets all, too deep and too not like me, and I feel that I feel that it's not me type of thing. That's really it. Everything just felt like it wasn't you. It didn't belong to you. It was just a passing through bunch of shit that had to dump on you while it was passing through. So I get how hard that's been for you, Virgo. I get it. So now as the communication opens on this new moon, communication, start talking about the experiences you've been through, because this is one of the great big things that will really start pushing it away. Because that's what you want. You want the crap of the past to be pushed away. Some traumas that you thought you'd never get over, they're going to get pushed away. Things that you never properly dealt with, they're going to get opened up to be spoken about, so that they can begin their so long, go away and don't come back to me journey. Yeah, because that's the journey. All the crap as you communicate what you've been through is going one direction in order to free you up so you can go out into your future in a bigger, broader direction. As I said, maybe even moving abroad full time. It could happen for you. It could happen. So let's mop up the last of this shit that you've been going through for the last few years. Let's begin this month, Virgo. Now, Jupiter, of course, as I said, is in the 4th house, the great expansion of family, and the great expansion of you finally feeling grounded in yourself. This is a lovely month, Virgo, because you begin to feel home in yourself. It's all about home cooking, home style, home things, feeling like home again. So you could really start looking around where you live, unless you've moved back home. You might look around at the actual place you live and say, does this feel like home? I need things around me now that are more tactile, that remind me of a safe space. The safe space starts here, and you're bringing that out this month. So it's beautiful, it's confidence, it's self-nurturing, it's kindness to yourself, it's filling yourself up with something that ultimately feeds you and props you up. And where there was that big hole in you of emptiness at times, now you get replenished. You're being fed again. You're being fed a whole new happiness. It's beautiful, Virgo, beautiful. Now, November 15th, Mars moving into Pisces in your 7th house. Mars in Pisces, okay, so this is about going slow, using your intuition. The action, say you have to come down a gear. Your action has to slow down to meet this energy, which is about, as I said, being intuitive, being sympathetic, listening to other people's point of view, listening, because you're now communicating so much. And as you're pouring out, well, this happened to me. You don't know how hard I've had it. You don't know what I've been through. And then it'll stop. And then somebody will say, wow, Virgo, you know, I've been through some stuff before. And this is where communication changes. Because you had been bursting to tell everybody how shit it's been for you. You get to say it, relax, and listen to other people's stories too. And it seems to bring a balance, to put things into perspective. You say, oh God, I thought I was the only one going through this. I thought I was the only one getting the raw end of the stick. I thought I was the only one feeling empty, that life had no meaning for me. I thought it was just me. I had no idea those people were going through the same thing. This is where balance comes back, as I said, and this is where good people, good, decent people come into your life so that you can talk to them and they will help you with this conversation. But also when it comes to relationships, it is about slowing down, not getting so aggressive and just saying, look, let's talk. This is what I've been experiencing. This is how hard it's been for me. And to give your partner, for those in a relationship, or even close friends, even work colleagues, or work partners, should I say, give them a chance to hear and listen and allow them have empathy and sympathy for what you've been through. Because, Virgo, there may have been times where you said, nobody cares, look around, nobody actually gives a shit, nobody cares. And when you open up this month, people might say, I didn't know you were going through that. I had no idea it had gotten so hard for you. I had no idea that it was so deep for you, that you were lost in crisis. Maybe even some of you were so profoundly hurt that you got lost in addictions or doing things that hurt yourself. You were deliberately self-harming, self-sabotaging your life because you were experiencing so much pain in some areas of your life. And finally, people maybe get an opportunity this month to hear you talk about that. And you might be surprised by the wave of care and love and sympathy that comes when you do. Healing. Pisces always wants to heal. Communication with these people, with your partner, with your close friends and so on, offers this healing. So actively, Mars action, actively take this healing through this wonderful communication, possibly from brothers and sisters also, cousins, family members. It's like you're wrapped around good people this month. You're wrapped around good people. And this is where it begins for you to heal. Other things that are happening, Mercury, your ruler, is retrograding on November 16th in Sagittarius. So there is that thing of, as I said, maybe going back home, moving back home, or having somebody from home move in with you. But there is something you are reconnecting with when it comes to home, your hometown, your home country. And it's very important that you do that, because what this physical reconnection will do with family and home, it will reconnect you with a sense of feeling at home in yourself. Powerful, very powerful transformation, Virgo. This is wonderful for you. Other things that are happening, Venus is going direct this month in your second house. So again, it's about you feeling more confident, more comfortable, more balanced. We talked about this, the balance is coming back. Also, when it comes to money, because Venus has a lot to do with money, your mind is on the money, and maybe you are having an opportunity this month, maybe through the help of family or somebody from your hometown, to get your money moving. It's a wonderful time to include them in some way, shape or form, to allow you to increase your money and to increase your confidence. Yes, certainly confidence and money are being brought up this month. They're rising because of the help from something or somebody from home or from your family, and good communication, real deep communication with them. No superficial, no tantrums, no tears, just say, this is my story, this is how it's been, can you believe this shit? Simple as that. And you might say, simple as that, it's been hard. No, this month it will be as simple as that. Now the sun moving into Sagittarius in the 4th house again, there's great luck, there's great energy coming from the family, as we spoke about. You're feeling healed, healing coming deep inside you, where there was pain, where there was crisis, where there was hurt, where there was emptiness in some way. That's healing. Full moon in Gemini in your 10th house, November 23rd, could mark a period where you decide that the job that you're in or the career path that you're on no longer suits you, no longer fits you. Maybe because of this family situation, if some of you are moving home, that you're moving away from a career in order to start another one, in order to start again. You're also, excuse me, Virgo, moving away from some very heavy responsibilities that have been piling up on your shoulder, and again, possibly through the help of family. Some of these burdens and responsibilities are lifted, so it's wonderful. Neptune going direct in your house of relationships. Any old illusions, any old promises that you felt you couldn't keep in a relationship, you now feel in a better position that you can keep your promise to the people that you love most. That it's not just a dream, that it's not just wish upon wish upon wish, that now it seems that those wishes and dreams can become possible in order for you actually to have a very good relationship with other people, a good relationship, a good love relationship, a good relationship with your family, a good relationship with your friends. It's almost like the anger is ending. And don't look back in anger. Isn't that what they say? Don't look back in anger, because the anger is ending and better harmony is coming and the dreams are starting to come true again. So it's very positive. And of course, here we have again the North Node moving into Cancer in the 11th house. Cancer, home, family, being surrounded by your family, that's part of your destiny now, so it seems, and increasing your family perhaps. But also the 11th house is where you are in a space where everybody thinks the same. Everybody is in the same mindset. You're all working together. You all believe in the same thing. That's what you need. There's been too much of everybody being against you. Everything you try to do, people were saying, that's wrong, we're against you. Now it seems to be really key for you to get in with a group of people, even if it's your family, that think like you, that get you. They just get you. And that brings peace to you now. 11th house is also about fulfilling the dreams and promises you had hoped for in the future. You had great big wishes to get out there and be something and to be celebrated out there for something great and worthwhile that you've done. So now it's time to get out there and allow that to begin happening. 11th house can be social media, teams, groups, societies, teams in work. Maybe you want to be seen, you want to stand out a little bit. And this is strange, stand out by being part of a good crowd. Now that sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? But that's what you need to do, to get involved with a winning team, a winning group, a winning philosophy, a winning cutting-edge technology even, and to dream, because this is your hopes and dreams, to dream and hope that this can carry you somehow into the future. So that's why I'm saying maybe something on the internet might be very, very beneficial for you, Virgo. Now we're waiting on a few cards here. Let's see, they're not coming, so I'm going to choose the last few cards for you, Virgo. The Virgo card, the Hermit coming out there, yes, and I can see why. The Two of Swords, This hopped out on its own. The 7 of Pentacles, 3 more cards, another one hopping out. The 8 of Swords. This one hopped. The Knight of Wands. One last card, Virgo, and then we're ready. The 4 of Wands, the 4 of Magic Wands. So Virgo, let's do this thing. Let's see what magic is here for you. 11th house is magic too. The North Node wants you to remember that it is possible to have magic in your life. It is possible again to dream and wish for the things that you wanted without thinking that it's going to turn to shit, you know. Excuse me, Virgo. Now let's begin. This is Venus in all her earthiness. Yeah, Venus in her earthiness. Venus is in Libra, but you are the earth. So Venus is coming to you. Venus is saying, you know, let's get back and do a few things. Firstly, let's get back in control of the situation. What situation? Firstly, your life's purpose. You've been asking the big questions. What is my big purpose in life? And it seems this month you get some clues into that. You've the big questions, as I said, and the big answers are coming. So watch out for those answers. Like I said, they may come through your family, friends, or by networking with people, you might get those big answers. Get back in your full authority as your beautiful, majestic, earthy, sensual, sexual, confident self. So it begins. You're getting back on top of the game in terms of money, in terms of your career, your friendships, your family. You're feeling more supported. You're feeling abundant. This is the card of abundance. You're getting that nourishment, because sometimes this is quite a mothering card. All the energy in the 4th house, Jupiter expanding this feeling of being mothered, of being nourished, of being cared for, of being unconditionally loved by others. It begins to feed you, so you feel it. And what does it do? This is a Sun in Virgo card. It brings the sun back out in you. It reminds you what you're supposed to be doing, that it's not all supposed to be just a series of tasks and lots of hard work, but it's supposed to be a service. The thing that you're most passionate about, Virgo, is doing something so meaningful that it provides a service to other people, that it makes you feel that you've done good, that you've not just done good for yourself, but you've done good for the people you care about, you've done good for society, you've done good in general. And that's where you excel. And now that you're becoming more grounded and more back into a good, happy zone in yourself, you're ready to get back into work, into doing something meaningful work and focusing on it to make the money. You want to make money now because that is your new purpose. Maybe because you want to travel and move abroad next year. Maybe you do see your future with a new group of people that is far away from home. Maybe you see your dreams coming true, but you know that you have to keep your head down now and focus on some small details and become so, so geared towards making something really happen for you in your life. That's what it is. You've been called to remember your purpose, and this month you reconnect with the best qualities in you, which is usually about, as I said, the work that you do must be meaningful. And I think that's what you're reconnecting to. That energy of having a meaningful existence again, a meaningful life again, meaningful employment again. Yeah, and maybe that's why towards the end of the month with the moon in Gemini in your 10th house, that you really begin to communicate the idea that you need to switch careers in order to do something that's far more fulfilling for you and rewarding for you, and something that really does reflect something more meaningful for you. Yeah. Here we have a very Mercury in Cancer card, communicating with family, very, very key. And what will that do? It will bring you the happy ever after. This is a wonderful celebration. It could kick off this month with a celebration somehow. Let me see, a celebration with your family. Maybe there's a Scorpio member in your family having a birthday. It could be a Sagittarius member also having a birthday. But there is something that you are celebrating and coming together with your family to celebrate that really kicks off this gorgeous feeling of you raising a glass and saying, here we are, we're all happy together again. I missed this closeness. Now, I know sometimes family can wreck our heads and annoy us, but there's something very nourishing in this time for you, Virgo, that you're feeling the best qualities of the connection with your family rather than when they annoy you, because believe me, if you think your family is weird, I want to tell you all families are just that little bit weird sometimes. It's not just you, it's not just your family. There's always something in every family. So remember that as you go in and just drink down the best qualities in your family. Drink down the happiness, drink down the celebration, drink down the love that does exist there. And the rest, you can begin leaving that behind. As I said, Uranus wants you to leave the rest of the trash. The old shit that happened maybe within family, maybe old traumas or old psychological stuff that you all never quite got over somehow, maybe that's finally being laid to rest, and you again only celebrate the things that are going to bring a positive ending to all of this for you. This is where tears suddenly end. You may have been very stressed out last month, and now suddenly it's through this great communication with your family that the tears end, and that there's a rainbow coming, which means hope is returning. Joy is returning. Now, I know a lot of you are just listening to me and your jaw is open saying, you don't know my family. If I try to communicate with them, they're nuts. They're all drama kings and queens. They're all in their own weird world. They're all crazy. That's why I said to you, all families are a little bit crazy. The energy here, though, in November is to reconnect maybe with how you sit comfortably in that craziness. Because let's not forget that even in the craziest families, there is still some level of comfort because you're all crazy together. So I'm just telling you that because I want you to find the thing that you all have in common that brings you that love. Yeah, find common ground with your family. That's where the love comes. Now you're beginning again. You're beginning again. There are great new beginnings this month for you. Yes, you could be moving home because let's not forget the 4th house is your home. So even if you're not moving in with a family member or moving back home, you could literally be relocating, moving home, changing where you live, changing how you live. And this is just a new fresh start for you, a new fresh start. And particularly because the 10 of Swords does represent Moon in Gemini, a new fresh start definitely around the 23rd of November where you're free. Everything just seems to get that bit lighter, where you can let the crap of the past begin to heal. This is a card where you finally come through the worst of something as you begin your new journey. See, didn't we say? As you begin this new fresh journey, the old psychological crap that we discussed leaves. It's over. It's over. That old dead crap chapter is over this month, and the newness begins, Virgo. It begins. Yeah, the expansion of inner happiness begins. And look, shining his big light over that, if you see these cards, and there he is shining his light over that. This is a Virgo card, and he's shining his light saying he's blessing these new beginnings. This is what Virgo wants. Virgo wants to start all over again with a new clean slate and to take a leap of faith. You don't necessarily have to know all the details. You don't necessarily have to know where you're going, why you're doing it, what's happening, what next. There doesn't actually have to be an absolute plan. There does have to be trust that this is the right route for you now. This is the right direction for you. He's also shining his light over that 10 of Swords, saying, I'm going to heal this once and for all. I'm going to heal this. And what else is he going to do? He's going to maybe turn his back also a little bit on that feeling of being in a stale position in your life. This is a kind of moon in Libra card, where there was a staleness around relationships, not knowing how to move forward, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to find the right relationship, not knowing how to maintain the relationship that you're in. This permanent sense of not trusting that you know exactly where you're going in relationships. And he's saying, in order for this to really break, and in order for you to have more confidence in general, in all relationships, where you are more you, that you are more abundant, and that you are more in a place of comfort and in a good rhythm and a good zone, he is going to fix all that, because Virgo wants this stagnation and this not going anywhere fast feeling to end. When it comes to relationships, certainly we talked about this, opening up with, if you have a partner or even with your family, open up and speak, communicate, because this also takes down some of those barriers that unfortunately you did have to build over the last few years, Virgo. So it's all about deconstructing Virgo this month, yeah, in order for you to start fresh. Now, we come towards the end of the month and you really are putting these great plans together. You have some idea what you want to do with your career. You do, and you recognize that it will get you out of this feeling of being trapped. So it's this thing, the whole theme in the cards of putting a plan together towards the end of the month. Maybe for your career, maybe for your finances, having a long-range savings plan. Let's be practical here. You could decide towards the end of the month that it's a real wise thing for you to do now is to put some money away, money aside, allow your money to grow so that you're not in a permanent state of crisis when it comes to your finances, that you're more in control. This is you, like being the farmer. You want to harvest things in your life. The ground is now fertile again. This is the card of fertility, and your life is becoming fertile again. In order for you to plant something new and worthwhile, planting seeds. Let's not forget expanding family, we spoke about that. This could be the introduction of new family members for you, but you want your life to grow, and you have finally found the right space, it seems, in November, in order to stand still long enough to allow something to be planted and to have the time to sit back and watch it grow. Things are not so much in a panic, in a crisis. You now have time to watch things grow. And this gets you out of that awful crisis feeling of the shit that's been going around in your mind. There has been really heavy stuff going around in your mind. And this slow, steady, almost at a farmer's pace kind of attitude is going to free you finally from this. Now, I will say this, one of the things you can do is have and cultivate a little bit of patience. You need a bit of patience this month because so much is changing for the better. But as things are changing, as I said, cultivate patience, because you might be surrounded with family this month and indeed in relationships, and you might need a little bit of patience with them, because this is the element of you hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. If I just turn a blind eye to something, I'll get on with them. If I pretend I didn't hear what they've said, I'll get on with them. If I don't let what they're doing restrict me in any way, because I'm an adult now, I don't have to behave the way I used to behave when we were all kids together. If I don't allow the behavioral patterns of my family of the past to influence me now, then I can just turn a blind eye to their behavior and begin the process of cultivating a happier future for myself, with them included, okay? The last card, I love this because this is you towards the end of the month, finally feeling that you've all your passion, drive and energy ready to go on this big new adventure. Now, literally, new adventure. Some of you really are planning, I think, to go on a recce, to go on a kind of short visit somewhere to see, to test the ground. Can I move here? Can I live here? And then you might come back and then you say, no, I like what I saw, I'm ready, and give me a few months, give me maybe until March of next year, and I will be ready to change everything up big time. You're feeling the adventure, you're feeling ready to go and enthusiastic again, and you're ready to settle down. I'm convinced of it, Virgo. You're ready to settle down. For some of you, it could be literally settle down with all the energy in the family. There could be wedding bells. There could be making a very strong commitment with somebody, making a great big declaration of love finally to somebody that you love and care about. But either way, it's more about you being absolutely ready to be that adventurous soul again, and to find the place where you can put your stake in the ground and put 4 corners on that and build and build and build and build. You're deconstructing and then reconstructing in a much healthier, happier and more adventurous spirited way. Virgo, I adore that. I adore that. And I wish you every great bit of success on these new beginnings and on your new ventures that you're taking on here. Now, speaking of new beginnings, I left this to the end, Virgo, because I don't like to interrupt the flow of the readings, but I'm also embarking upon a new adventure. I am introducing this month new readings called the Deep Read. I have the link there below. What I'm going to do every month is I'm going to have the videos, as always, they'll be the same. I'll come here every month and do the general reading, but I will have extra readings that go much deeper into the themes of the month, really focusing on love, finding new love relationships, family, business, career, finance, money, luck, the whole thing. We will dig deeper together and deconstruct the month so that we have all the details just right. And if that's something that you're interested in, Virgo, as I said, the link is down below to follow me over to Vimeo to see if it's something that you'd like to be part of. I'd love you to be part of it. And again, I've kept the price as low as I possibly could in order to, you know, allow this be something that everybody can experience. So I hope that you can make it there if it's something you're interested in, Virgo. And enough of that anyway. I am going to say have a wonderful November, and I wish you every bit of success and abundance as you jump forward into your brand new, happier life. Virgo, I'm going to leave it at that, and as always, I will leave you with a big kiss, mwah, and all my love. Until next month, bye, Virgo.